gang, mate, and welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. So, a couple of things have happened. I have finished routing 10 bazillion belts in 15 bazillion different directions. And in theory, everything's hooked up. I actually had to replace all the steel smelters I ripped up, which meant wait for more modules, but that's okay, we got them done. And I've actually got one smelter down here, which is the bottom one, this row here, that actually doesn't do anything. So, yeah, I'm slightly over smelted. I don't know, maybe we'll find a use for it, maybe we won't. Time will tell. But in the meantime, I've taken a blueprint. So, that is the blueprint of everything, which requires just a few thousand pieces. Start off with 22,000 speed modules and 6,200 prod mods. So I've put down some buffer chests here. And yeah, this is almost 5,000, no, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm doing the same for prod mods. There's already 2.4 being delivered, so we're going to put down another chest and have some more delivered. I do need to turn on requests from buffer for you and for you, because they're the only two spots they go. I just want to start buffering for our next build, basically. Where is our beacon? Beacon. That holds 480. So 2 of them is 1,000. And we need how many thousand? 11,000. Okay. That didn't work, but it went away nonetheless. So yeah, I'm just going to start stockpiling lots and lots of thousands of everythings. What do I say? 480. So that's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Turn on that one. And turn on that one. I think that's the only 2 spots I have. Nope, there's a beacon there. And a beacon there. What were the other things I was running short of? 20,000 belt, yeah. Okay, 20,000 belt, which is how many chests? Hang on, how many chests is 20,000? 4 chests. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a lot of stack inserters. That'd be 3 stack inserters. They're really the big ones. Like red belt will have that amount of stock. Furnaces, I'll do furnaces. Okay, so I'll do furnaces and assembly machines. So what do we want? We want stack inserters. 1, 2, 3. We want substations. How many substations were there? 1.5. So just 1 chest of substations. Steel chests. How many do we need? 2.5. So we're just going to put 2.4 in a chest. And then you're going to do assembly machines, 1,000. You'll do furnaces, 1,000. And I've got 2 chests here that I can't even remember what I was going to put in them. No. Because everything else, I think, we should just have in lieu normally. Either we're just not requesting that much of it. So I need to turn on request for you and copy that to there. Turn on for that one as well. substations as well. Now, at the moment, I do have a little bit of overproduction down there. When I say a little bit, I mean really quite a lot. There is quite a lot of overproduction. Oh. Long-handed inserters. 216. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought. So, not overproduction. I have a lot of wastage. If we go look at here and we look at what I've done with the substations, like it needs a little bit of a tidy up, just a tiny bit. So there are things that need to change, but at the moment I haven't even powered the whole thing on. I don't even know if it's going to work, and we're not going to find that out today either. At the moment, I just want to stock things up. Because before I turn this on, 1, I need to have train stations to unload resources. 2, I actually need to have a lot of outposting done. So at some stage, I don't know when, I'll tell you when it's going to happen, we're going to put in there'll be a couple of days where we'll be short on episodes, or there just may not be any episodes for this series. There'll be other Factorio content, don't get me wrong, but there just might not be any of the rocket per minute Megabase. Purely because I need to do some serious outposting. Some really serious outposting. But today, I've probably got enough train tracks on me. Today, I wish to go work on a train that works. Passenger present. Today, I wish to work on Go Train. Trying to get the whole unloading stations figured out. I already know that my miners or my outposts are going to be either 3-8 or a 2-8 train. 8 seems to be the number I'm going to go with. I'm not sure on that number either. So many things have the potential to change. You go no. Go there. And then wait for a passenger. So I can get rid of all of that. Which just cut power to the whole base. Well, maybe that was not called for. Done. Okay. And yeah, there's a little bit of stuff down here in storage. Let's move. Okay, so first things first. Let's build the train station to do oil. Oil's gonna be probably gonna be the hardest. So I want to sort of try and get that one done first. Do I have a station on me? Probably not. Actually, you're going to be a requester station. That much I know. And I have to get 4... So I have to get 4 tanks unloaded. So straight away, I'm looking at a 2-4 train. That simplifies that process. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many tanks do I have on me? 0. Tanks do I have in storage? 0. We're doing well. Do you have tanks on you? You do. 50. Awesome. I need tanks. I need pumps. That wagon. Yes. So I need to get tanks unloaded, pumped into these as fast as possible, along with some sort of potential load balancing. Turn my bots off, deconstruct. And I'll have that. We're going to put those onto auto trash. And then deconstruct that. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to load balance all the oil, which is tricky to do, to say the least. Okay, so we're going to start with one pipe. Let's pump in there. And really, the only way to do this is have it all pump into one tank before it goes anywhere else. Actually, can you... Oh, you can go there. Awesome. So, does this train happen to carry trains? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't matter, I can handcraft them. Come on, spit out the first one, please. Turn the robots back on. Oh, that really doesn't look like it's going to line up much. That one did. Okay, that looks a little bit better. So the idea is I'm going to pump this tank into this tank into this tank, this tank into this tank into this tank. So all the oils come into here. From there, I should be able to split it twice. So we're going to have one come this way, down to this inlet, which we'll work out how to join those two later. One come into this pipe, which I'm going to have to work out how to connect right now. That's how I connect it. Like so. So we can go with a pump, a underground. I want a pump at the corner. So I'm going to do, not a pump, a tank at the corner. So I'm going to go there, there, and then I'll do a pump in like that. So that's that end done. Now, got to remember these guys use per second 1500. So I need to keep the pressure high. I need to use as many pumps as required to keep everything, or keep all the liquids moving as fast as possible. You're out by tile. One tile. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to have to use... no, because I can't slide that up because that's all attached by beacons. So I have to use 2 bits of pipe. That might cost me. It is on a short run, so that might be okay, because we've got a... how much is this? A 9 and 8. Well, 8 only does 1300, and 9 does 1500. So, yeah, there's a slight difference. So I'm going to do into that, then we're going to go underground to somewhere. I literally moved all these right in my way. That has to move. We're going to put one of those there. And I'm going to go tank. Oh, pump into tank. That should be enough. It's definitely enough now. Okay, so that's our oil unload station. It looks like a horrible mess, but in theory it all works. I just need some underground pipe and then magic can happen. So let's go get some underground pipe so this can be done and dusted. And I think I need some straight pipe as well. And like I said, in theory all this stuff works. Like it's none of it's been tested. We're not going to test anything. We're just going to turn it on and then we'll go around fixing all the problems that are bound to happen. Actually, whilst I remember, put all those in there. The robot networks. No, the robot networks are not connected anymore. Okay, I'm going to fix that in a second. Substations. I want a substation. It turns out I need one there. I need one there. And then I need one there. And one in there somewhere. row report. I need a row report. You'll do. And that should let them put down all those red undergrounds that I ran out of. Okay, so in theory, that's oil. I'm just going to leave it like that. I still need to work out how to get a stacker in here. Because I'm going to need a stacker. I'm also going to have to hook up some sort of smarts to the train supply manager station to request in oil fast enough. Because, like, if these tanks run out, that's okay. If this tank runs out, we're in trouble. Because everything comes off this tank. Can I pump from there to there? I may be able to pump. No, let's not do that. So if I pump, this is the back end, this is the front end. If I pump directly into here, rather than going through this tank, it means that this one actually has more tanks feeding, or more train wagons feeding into it than this one. Technically, because they have an option to go here or here. In theory, you get 50% load to each one of them, and it could complicate things where this tank is full, but this tank is empty, which I don't want to do. I want to have this tank be the primary tank, and that's the one I want to read off. Anyway, one down, 18,000 train stations to go. So, the next train station I need is some assembly of a unload station. Now, there's a whole lot of spaghetti I have to work out, because this is, what, all the long ones are copper, all the short ones are iron. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. 22 lanes of copper compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 lanes of iron. Obviously, that's a bad combination to start with. So there's a good chance that some of this iron that gets unloaded into these steel might also come from one of these irons down here, because this is going to be iron, copper, iron, copper, iron, copper. And this is, again, 9 for even numbers with another 10. The 10 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 copper, 1 of nothing. And then 5 of both iron and copper with another... Okay, actually, now what we're going to do? We're going to make... I can't make a constant combinator. Okay, we're going to make an iron chest. And an iron chest. Okay. So, red belt and blue belt. So, we're going to go around counting the irons. So, we've got... This is iron for steel out and into low-density structures. So, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 lots of iron. 11. With 22 copper. 21, 22. Okay, then we're going to move on to the next row. The next row goes into green circuits. This build, that build, and that build. So that's fairly simple. It is 9 lanes of each. So we're going to come in here, and we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in here, we're going to add another 9. Then we get on to this one. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lanes of copper for red circuits. So we're going to come in here. I'm going to add another 9. Then the second half of this build. Now this one is actually dead. It doesn't actually... the output doesn't go anywhere, therefore the input doesn't technically need to be fed. I might feed it just so it looks pretty, but, you know, technically it doesn't do anything. This is 5 lanes of both iron and copper that go up here and feed across into this green circuit build. So we need to come across here and go iron. We need 5 lanes. Copper, guess what? We need another 5 lanes. Actually, that should go in there. Okay, that comes onto this build. This build is 15 lanes of both iron and copper. So, 15 in there. 15 in there. So I have 60 lanes of copper and 40 lanes of iron. See, after you do it like that, it makes much more sense. So, that didn't help. Run it over there. Calculator. So, if I have clear all, 40 lanes divided by 8, because that's the size of the train we're planning on using, it means I need 5 unload stations for iron. That sounds easy enough. If I'm doing 60 lanes of copper, and I divide that by 8, that's 7.5 train stations. So that means one train station, I'm either only half unloading the train, which is fine. I can just half unload a train and then kick the train out as soon as it's half empty. Or I could load the whole train into an 8 lane and then bring it down to a 4 lane and then run it forth from there. So we have options. We have options. But it does mean every 8th build. So I'm going to do 8 builds of iron and then 3 builds of iron. And then the next iron, well, 3 builds, and then the next 5 lanes of iron down here have to also service these 3 lanes of steel. So a little bit awkward, but train station with a requester station. 1, 2, 3. We're going to plan for 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, there's a ghost down. It doesn't work. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to copy that, include the train, and then paste it down. It still really doesn't line up. I need steel. I don't have steel on me. Does that line up? That at least looks like it lines up. Okay, so unloading. There's lots of different ways to unload. Lots and lots of different ways. I am going to need some sort of balancer, because I can't guarantee I'm going to have 100% draw on all lanes equally at all times. So I need to do some sort of balancing. On top of that, I need to unload from the train into as many chests as possible, so I've got a buffer, out of the train, and then in theory do some really smart type of really cool unloading that uses the minimum amount of splitters and balancers and stuff as possible. I don't even know how that works. Let's get... I can use power on this side of the train tracks. I need to see how one of these guys work. You are my victim. You're going to output... So you're outputting onto... Hang on, let's just go dump. Okay, that looks like it will work. Don't get me wrong, it's completely overkill as far as inserters are concerned. Right? Honestly, actually, can I do it? Can I pull up you and can I pull up you? No, there was a gap. There's another gap. Honestly, I'd like to minimize the amount of inserters we're using, but it doesn't look like I can, at least not until I come up with some brilliant idea on how to use less inserters to unload the trains. But we can sort of worry about some of that stuff when we actually hit a UPS problem. For the moment, we just need... We need to work out where the train stations are going to go. And work out how the hell we're going to unload all these trains. Because there's a few of them. That, and that. Copy those, put them there, and there, and there. And actually cut back that track, or that belt, and put it... Actually, let's not even put it back down. That goes there. That goes there. And that goes there. Okay. Copy, paste. Give me belts. That bit can go, that bit can go. Okay, so that becomes our first unload station. And we're going to power up the backside of it with substations. Can I get just that one extra tile? I need coverage to there. No, of course I can't. Okay, fine. We'll put two substations in the middle, like that. Actually, let's not do that. Let's put you back where you belonged, and pick that one up, put that there. Okay, so that's one unload station. If I cut the whole thing, and undo, copy, hold down shift, include trains, and request the station. Yeah. Okay, show me, that can go away, that didn't work. Okay, Control C. There to there. Hold down shift. Turn on that. Requester, save, and then put it in my inventory. It does have 8 locos. Yeah, it's got everything. Okay, so now I can decommission all of that, including the trains, the locos, everything. Have the bots pick everything up. Come on, bots. Faster. I'd do another bot speed upgrade, but they're not exactly cheap. And I don't really need them if we're going to be running belts. Okay. So let's try and do iron first. So I'm going to put down a train station. We're then going to... That's your input. Okay, now I've done that. Let's pull all that back up. Come on, pull it all back up. And let's try and get all the other bits of belt put down. There are base spots up there that can do something. Earn their keep. Okay. Now we'll take our train station and I'm going to line the first one up. Of course I'm not going to line the first one up because, you know, 2 tile offset. And I'm not moving the whole blueprint over a tile. It's not happening. Okay. You can already see I'm going to run out of room. Okay, we're going to bring you, actually, we're going to bring you sideways like your friend. I didn't need to do that. Okay, fine. Rip all that back up. Okay, plug that into there, bring that across to there, and run that one in there. add to map view, that way I can build and have the base spots do some of the work. Okay, copy that, run that down, run that down, run that one down, that one down, that one down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, so this is my last one. It's going to run down, I don't know how far. Alright, next lane. So this is a copper and that's a copper. So you're running from over there somewhere. So I can't interfere with that. Actually, you're a copper. 2, 2, 2. Let's assume the copper station is right in the middle somewhere. And we're going to do something like this for our copper unload. Which means that belt actually goes in there. That belt actually goes this way. That looks about right. Yep. That's a second train station down. You're going to be doing copper. We can copy that. Lay in those two. Lay that one down. Lay that one up. Go back to our iron problem. I've lost count of how many there are, but that's okay. Oh. No, we're gonna... Something I started doing. I'm like, no, I'm gonna put in an underground and try and keep things neat, even if I'm putting in the underground over one tile. You know. That one, that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to run out of belts sooner or later. Okay, that's that done. Then we're going to bring you this way and plug you in there. You'll go straight into there. We can then get rid of that. You'll go in there. You'll keep going into there. And you'll keep going all the way into that one. So that goes away. That goes away. That hooks in there. That hooks in there. And that is our first... That is copper. That is one iron unload to do steel and one copper unload done. That's it. Which means, according to my maths over here, I still need to do 4 more irons and 6.5 more coppers. So we can already see that this iron, and this iron are going to have to merge in with 5 of these irons down here, which is then going to offset everything else by, I don't know, a few tiles, which is going to be frustrating as hell. Yeah, everything's going to end up further and further offset, depending on where I start. So maybe I need to start at the other end, where this is even copper and iron. But I've got my 2 stations down. So we've got plans for 2 stations. We sort of know what we're doing for 2 stations. And this is where I'm going to end the episode. I'm going to go in and I'm basically going to duplicate this thought experiment across the bottom. I also have a problem of these trains are going to have to get out. So I'm going to end up cutting across these tracks, or these belts, over and over and over. Along with potentially a whole throughput problem, because I haven't gone back and double checked how much iron and copper and all the different resources we need per minute or per second, but it's a lot, and I don't know if one track with trains starting and stopping can actually handle that sort of throughput. You know, we're going to need stackers and other things to mitigate that a certain amount, but there is a finite limit of what's the total ore per second a single track can carry. It's something that I encountered with my Gigabase series, and it's a really high limit. It's like 1.2 million ore per second. But if we end up making 25 rockets per minute, that might be our bottleneck. Anyway, I'm out. I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you're enjoying. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.